You're listening to The Play Pouch. Welcome back, everyone. We were supposed to bring you some edited highlights of our live reaction to the Game Awards, but my computer decided to be a dick. Yeah, so we can't bring that to you, I'm afraid. Instead, we're just going to give you our post-show thoughts and opinions, and we're going to be sort of fairly brutally honest. We're not going to sort of sugarcoat things. We are veteran gamers, and we have over 30 years' experience of playing computer games. We were there right from the beginning. And we tend to take a cynical view of games these days, not because we hate them, just because there tends to be a lot of fluff with the good stuff. In other words, whenever a good game comes out, 1,000,001 people tend to copy it. And so we tend to like to have a laugh at some of these games. And in this awards show this year, there seems to be quite a lot of it.
And guys, just let me add as well, since we did try to bring you kind of like live reactions, it's very difficult to sit there for 3.5 hours and remain entertained.
Yes.
There is so much fluff in this show that we felt like the show was like 8 hours long rather than 3. It did drag. We'll talk about it more, I'm sure, but we did our best, but there we are.
Yes. We tended to get a little bit more... a diplomatic word is cynical as the show went on. So, yes, we'll just crack on. But before we do, if you like our shows, please subscribe, give that notification bell a ring, and slap the thumbs up button. Let us know what you think in the comments section below about your experience of watching the Game Show Awards. So, I think it's probably a good idea to run through the list of announced games, just in case people don't know.
Are you going to say, world premiere?
World premiere. No, I won't. So we basically have Brothers, A Tale of Two Sons, Pony Island 2, Panda Circus, which did actually look quite good, The Rise of the Golden Idol, Usual June, Ark Knight Enfield, The Matchless Kung Fu, Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader.
That one's out. That one's actually out today, I think.
Yeah, it does look really good. Assassin's Creed Nexus VR, Harmonium the Musical, Windblown. We weren't blown away by its wind.
No.
Thrasher, Persona 3 Reloaded, so that's a remake of Persona 3 there. Dave the Diver, World of Goo 2, which kind of sounds like a porno. Metaphor Refantasio, Exodus, God of War Ragnarok Valhalla, which is DLC for Ragnarok, God of War 5. Big Walk by House, Prince of Persia The Lost Crown, I must have missed that one. Lego Fortnite, one of the major highlights for me is Hellblade 2 Senua's Sacrifice.
I missed that, Pete. I was in the bathroom, I believe.
Yeah, it was really good. No Rest for the Wicked, Avatar Frontiers of Pandora, which people are excited about. Sega, there's 5 releases. Don't ask me to remember them, I don't know.
I can. Do you want me to do it? I can.
Yeah, what were they?
Golden Axe, which is the big one. Shinobi.
Yeah.
Streets of Rage 2.
Mm-hmm.
Jet Set Radio. And Crazy Taxi. And I haven't even got a list in front of me.
Oh, cool. Well done, mate. Excited for a couple of them, I suppose.
Yeah.
Dragon Ball, Sparking Zero, The Casting of Frank Stone, Visions of Mana. You got a little bit of an erection over that one.
It's just because I recognised it from a long time ago. Rise
of the Ronin, yet another feudal Japan type thing, I guess. The Outlast Trials, which looked quite interesting to me. Hideo Kojima's OD, which...
was that a game? I didn't know that was a game, bro. One of those things. Is it a game?
Well, let's just hope it's not a Silent Hill Ascension venture. A lot of people are saying that it might actually be the sort of expansion on that demo they did. What was it? P2?
PT. Interesting.
PT, yeah. What have we got? Jurassic Park Survival, which did look interesting, but I'm not into dinosaurs. Fortnite Rocket Racing, Black Myth Wukong. Whoop whoop. Can't wait for that one.
That looks good.
Suicide Squad, Death to the Justice League. Warframe, Whispers in the Walls. Banishers, Ghost of New Eden. Ready or Not 1.0. Tales of Kenzera Zhao. Lost Records Bloom and Rage. The First Berserker Kazan. Honkai Star Rail, sounds almost racist. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 Season 1, go fuck yourself.
Cool, I can't wait for that one.
There was some more news about Skull and Bones. I think they gave an actual release date this time.
I missed that one again. When did they say it was coming out?
I think it was sort of early next year. I could be wrong. Marvel's Blade, Last Sentinel, The First Descendant, Zenless Zone Zero, Mecha Break, Helldivers, Warhammer Space Marine 2, GTFO, the final chapter. I don't know whether that stands for Get the Fuck Out.
Play on words, maybe.
Yeah, Den of Wolves, Exoborn, Master of the Apocalypse, Asgard's Wrath 2, the Fallout TV show. I know that's what you're looking forward to.
Oh, we can't wait.
Light No Fire from the creators of No Man's Sky. We'll see whether that's a dumpster fire.
Sean Murray, mate, I can't believe that you did not hire somebody in the last 10 years to do this stuff.
No, he's a brave soul, really, isn't he? Stormgate, Guilty Gear Strive, Ark Survival Ascended, Final Fantasy 16 DLC, The Finals, Bellwright, and Monster Hunter Wilds.
Whoop, whoop.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm just going to sort of list out the things that I'm excited about.
Okay.
So Warhammer Rogue Trader, definitely excited about that. Hellblade 2 Senua's Saga. I need to play the first one first, but I know it was really good. And yeah, I can't wait to play this one as well. Black Myth Wukong, and I think really it's Monster Hunter Wilds. That's about it.
Yeah, Monster Hunter is the standout for me because, the last one, as we talked about in our review, the last one I put 400 hours in at least.
Yeah.
So we were both sitting there, Pete, as a trailer, we were geeking out a little bit, as you do. And then we were both praying for 2024. We were like, please, 2024, 2024.
Yeah.
And then it comes up 2025 and it's just like,
fuck. Yeah.
So that says a lot when you've got two of us kind of sitting there saying, please next year, not 2 years.
Yeah.
So that is the standout. There was a lot of RPGs, which is my favorite genre. So you'd think that I'd be into more than I actually was. But maybe, I don't know, dude, maybe it is an age thing where it's just like you just get a bit more fussier. And I suppose I've become a bit more fussy.
Yeah, same here.
Like Final Fantasy 16 DLC, right? Once upon a time, I would have been like, oh my God, I haven't played Final Fantasy 16. It's been out for like 8 months and I haven't played it.
Is there a reason why you haven't played it?
Yeah, because it's not a turn-based JRPG as much, which is what they were to me, and over the years they've gotten more and more away from that. With the exception of Final Fantasy VII Remake, which hasn't gone the full way. I mean, that's another podcast which we'll be doing soon. But but with the mainline entries, they've just gotten more and more away. Like Final Fantasy 15 was a step away, and then they've gone further to the point where it just looks like Devil May Cry, which is fine for people who like that kind of game. I don't even hate that kind of game, but it's not what Final Fantasy is to me.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter what I think, really, because if it sells well enough, then that's it. So once upon a time, I'd care about that. Right now, I don't. But, just looking through the list now, I mean, the Fallout TV show, I don't care. I don't care. I don't care about the lot. I just don't. Okay. I've yet to see a really great recreation of the video game stuff. But, if it does well, then that's it. It doesn't really matter what I think, does it? Warhammer Space Marine 2. I'm interested in that because I played Warhammer when I was a kid. I'm sure other people remember the tabletop games with all the miniatures and everything when they were a kid. It's still going strong, really. Maybe not as much as it used to be, but there's been a lack of good games in the Warhammer, especially the 40k side. There's been a lack of good games, really, for that franchise. So maybe this is going to be something a bit better.
Sure, hopefully.
Marvel's Blade, I'm a bit like you with it. A little bit superheroed out, to be honest with you.
Yeah, definitely.
Skull and Bones, the idea was sound originally, but it's gone through so much development hell that I'm not even sure what it is anymore. Probably not up for me. And there's a bunch of RPGs that, Tales of Kenzara I think that's the Japanese game with the samurais and everything that we looked at.
Right.
The Black Myth Wu Kang, yep, I'm like you with that because we both saw the original trailer for that a number of years ago and we're like, wait, this is just like one guy or whatever it was at the time. I don't know if it's still just one guy who's
No, it's no.
doing that, or he's got himself a studio now, but it's just like, holy shit.
Yeah, no, they saw that original thing. I didn't even know it was one person. Is it one person at the start?
At the start, it was one guy and people were blown away.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, I mean, he's obviously got a team now because the production has moved quite swiftly. So,
Warframe, as much as I still have a little bit of a soft spot for that game, I don't think I can go back to it just by the nature of it.
too grindy.
Too grindy.
Yeah.
Jurassic Park, believe it or not, that actually did catch my attention because I think that there's a space in the marketplace for a survival horror type of dinosaur game. I know that, as you said, Pete, for you, it's not really your thing. You do have to like dinosaurs, you do, I think, to really enjoy it. But there is a market that I think, other than what Dino Crisis all those years ago,
Yeah.
there isn't many of these kind of games. We'll have to see. The trailer itself wasn't that impressive because it was just them just literally recreating parts of like Jurassic Park, the film.
Yeah, the first one.
With the raptors trying to get her. Literally, it's like there's more or less the same camera angles, bruv. And then at the end, the T-Rex comes up against her and she gets the flare out just like Jeff Goldblum's character does. And it's just like, okay, you're recreating this one for one here. So,
yeah. Well, I mean, like if it's a co-op game, I don't mind playing it with you and Alan.
it might be, yeah.
It all depends on what we have to do and the character creation system, all that kind of stuff. But we'll see on that one.
There wasn't that much else for me, to be honest. There's a couple of games that looked pretty, so to speak, and I guess maybe I'll wait for more details. But
yeah,
I don't know, dude. You need to kind of, I don't know. There was a lack of wow factor. Would you agree with me on this show when it comes to the trailers?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like, let's just address the elephant in the room straight away. It was all very Eastern orientated stuff. We didn't really get much Western development announcements of. We got like maybe one or two, but a lot of it just seemed to come from Eastern developing houses and. I don't have a problem, of course, with them, but it's like when you see one after the other of JRPGs and whatnot, and then you get like your war games and stuff like that. It just gets, for us who are just over 40 years old, it just gets a bit long in the tooth. So yeah, it was a bit of a bum year.
I mean, I like my JRPGs. I've admitted that, but even I, as we were watching it, even I was saying, okay, there's more than you normally get than your normal show.
Well, you were saying last during the show that they weren't really that popular a short while ago, and
well, I mean, how many of these are coming out on the Xbox? I don't know. I would say not many because the JRPG. See, the way it works, it's just simple. The Xbox doesn't sell well in the Eastern markets. It doesn't. It's a PlayStation. It's PlayStation and Nintendo dominated.
Yeah.
So because of that, the demand for JRPGs and that kind of stuff is much lesser. That's why the Persona and everything they're on the Xbox now, but it took many years for them to get onto the Xbox, and there wasn't a massive rush probably because the demand isn't there because it's most people are going to have the PlayStation. So to see so many of these kind of anime kind of, they weren't all JRPGs, but they had a lot of them had an anime style to them more than I was certainly expecting. So how many of these are out on the Xbox? I don't know. I'd have to go through every one and actually see how many of these were PlayStation exclusives.
I wouldn't have thought much, to be quite honest, mate. I think, PS5 are looking to get as many exclusives as they can, aren't they? So I wouldn't have thought much.
No. So, if that's the case, then you might say, well, were there more PlayStation games than Xbox? And the answer was yes, because I remember seeing the PlayStation logo and everything before some of the trailers. And our friend Alan actually asked me after the show, like the next morning, he asked me, did Xbox announce anything? Was there any Xbox exclusives that announced? And I said, I don't think so. No, they had an advert for Game. They had an advert for Game Pass.
There was an
And
advert for Starfield.
yeah, and for Starfield, because that's fantastic. And yeah, so my reply to him is no. I don't think there was. I don't think there was any announcement for a game that was just for the Xbox. I don't remember. I could be wrong, but I
Actually,
don't remember.
isn't Hellblade an exclusive?
Okay, yes. Okay, so that one. Okay, yeah.
Okay,
yeah, I
so
think
we
you're
had
right on that
one.
one.
Yeah, we had one, and it really does look amazing. You need to go watch the trailer, dude. I mean, like, it's just like,
Yeah, I missed it.
yeah. So, yeah, I mean, like, we've spoken about the fact that it all just seemed to be Asian development houses just sort of like paying off Jeff Keighley to show their stuff, and I don't know.
Well, we know that he's big in with Kojima because, in case anyone's knowing, there's been a bit of a report today regarding a lot of the developers not being very happy with the time given, and some of the backlash is kind of like, well, you gave these winners like 2 minutes each, but then Kojima comes on with his interpreter and spends 15 minutes basically not saying anything with the other guy, the other comedy dude who came out. And it's like, well, you gave them 15 minutes, 20 minutes of them just talking bullshit, maybe. But the devs who won got a minute each, which is fair, to be honest. That is
They had 30 seconds, right?
That's
so
ridiculous.
after like, I think it was 20 seconds that sign came up saying,
yeah, that's right.
please wrap up. And then after like 30 or 40 seconds, it would start flashing and stuff. And then, yeah, as you said, Kojima comes on and greets his pal, and it just gets like this major feature spot. And then you have like all these celebrities, like your mate, Matthew McConaughey, coming on. And during the Kojima thing for OD, someone, who was that, Jordan Peele or something, whoever that black dude.
Yeah.
And it was all just kind of a little bit cringy. It wasn't majorly cringy, but we did have some funny moments, though. I mean, like, there was a bit right towards the beginning when Jeff Keighley comes on stage and he's introducing some Japanese chaps, and it cuts to them in the audience, and they're like, they had no clue what was going on. Yeah, we had a little tickle at that, and yeah, I mean, like, it was kind of fun. We didn't get your resident sort of like YouTuber or weirdo coming onto the stage.
Yeah, I was expecting a fan to do something, but then as we were watching the show, Pete, we saw that they bumped up security, so it's like, damn it, probably nobody's going to be able to get through now.
Yeah. I was just like, oh no, you should let him on. It's fun.
Yeah.
It brightens up the event a bit. But yeah, so I don't think anyone's like too bothered about the awards. I mean, the one that really pissed me off was Forza Motorsport, and that won like racing game of the year or something, didn't it?
Yeah, I mean, guys, if like Pete said at the beginning, unfortunately we don't have the footage, but if you would have heard the footage as they're winding up to announcing the award, Pete's going, not Forza, not Forza, not Forza.
And the winner is Forza.
Yeah.
Oh, for fuck. It is literally one of the worst games ever made. But we'll be talking about that in our top fives in a week or two.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, like, there was another one where, like, Alan Wake 2 got a lot of attention.
You thought that it was a bit too successful, don't you? It won too many awards, I think, for you.
It sniffs of the winner is the highest bidder type of shit.
I'd like to hope not, but I'd be naive if I said that there wasn't maybe some of that going on.
No, there's definitely some rigging going on, bro. There has to be, because it's like Alan Wake 2 wouldn't have won. I mean, I'm not dissing the game. If people love it, awesome.
I haven't played it, mate. I haven't played it yet, so it's just like,
I mean, it's kind of like this overblown murder mystery, and that turns into this sort of like supernatural thing. And
I haven't played the first one, bruv, so it's like, well, do I need to go and play the first one before I even play the second one? So
I think you kind of do, but yeah, I mean, like, it's boring to me. I watched some gameplay of it, and I keep falling asleep, and I try to sort of make a point of going through the whole thing, but no, yeah, I just couldn't do it. I kind of miss having a Souls type game, but I mean, that's another thing. So yeah, so a lot of people are saying it's not really about the awards anymore. It's all about just sort of what games they announce, and it's just literally like a Christmas E3 now, which I kind of agree with.
It is really. I mean, when I thought of the Game Awards, did you vote on it?
No.
Neither did I, and that's as old, isn't it?
Well, your votes don't really matter.
One of them does. I forget. There's one, isn't there? One which is the Gamer's Choice.
Oh, they didn't even announce the Game of Choice.
Just player's voice, Pete. There is one here. Player's voice.
Oh, okay.
And Baldur's Gate 3 won it. Interestingly enough, there was no Alan Wake involved. The 5 nominees, Alan Wake wasn't there, so make of that what you will. The 5 choices were, just in case anyone doesn't remember, it was Cyberpunk 2077, Phantom Liberty, Genshin Impact, which that's why it's a player voted, I guess, because that was not mentioned anywhere else. Marvel Spider-Man 2, which we know you don't like, Pete, and the Zelda game, the Tears of the Kingdom. Baldur's Gate 3 won it, probably rightfully so, and that was the player's voice one, so that's the one which is just by the fans. So no Alan Wake. So Alan Wake obviously didn't even make it into the final 5. So make of that what you will.
Well, yeah. Well, then that just sniffs of it being rigged, to be quite honest. But yeah, a lot of people are just annoyed that they just seem to brush over the awards things. A lot of the awards were just done really quickly, and they moved on when it's a game awards show, and they spend more time sort of throwing adverts in your face, and something about nicotine and smoking being.
I don't know what that was.
That's just like what the hell. Yeah, so I mean, that is.
Well, the way they did the awards, at least this year, and maybe it was the same last year, I don't know. Well, the way they did the awards this year is it's like there was 2 different tiers. There was the ones which they were prepared to have the people walk onto the stage and announce and stuff like that, and then there was the other half, which they put the pretty girl, and that's why they made it a pretty girl. The pretty girl just stands there, rolling these awards off that nobody really cares about. Esport, a lot of esports and stuff like that, and you can literally tell these are all second tier because they go by so fast. They've got the other host doing it, so it's not even really Keighley doing it. Keighley's off doing whatever he does, hanging out with Kojima probably. And then she's reading them off, and then they'll go back to Keighley, and then you'll get the top tier ones, which they'll put a bit more effort into. And as you said earlier, now they won't even give them 2 minutes. I'm not saying I understand to a certain degree because you do have to time these things, but you can give them 2 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, come on, man. I mean, like, if you're going to give other things a lot more stage time, then you have to balance it out a little bit. But I mean, like, this is its 10th show, so it is still very young, and they've got a lot of lessons to learn still. And
you got to remember also, Pete, that because of the collapse of E3 as a physical event, it might come back, but it's not. It wasn't. In a way, Keighley's kind of gotten a bit more power. He's kind of taken over that kind of power vacuum. Sounds like a gangster, doesn't it? Yeah. Taken over that power vacuum for where he's known as the host now of the gaming thing. So because there's no E3, this is like pretty much one of the only kind of ones left where there's a gathering of people, so to speak, and it's like a mini E3 just with some Game Awards tacked on. That's what it's become. Yeah, I'd recommend probably watching a highlight video. Maybe you can probably watch a highlight video for like 30 minutes, which will cover the majority of the things which you'll probably care about. They had a couple of musical acts. Normally these are... I'm not that interested. However, on this occasion, because of my love of Final Fantasy VII, they actually did one which...
Oh, yes.
I actually paid attention to because they did a pretty cool thing where whoever the singer was, they showed a graphic of the lovely Aeris.
Yeah, as she was originally known in our country.
Doing the same mannerisms and kind of doing the singing, cut between a couple of new scenes of the upcoming Rebirth game. So, since
including the shot where she's just about to die.
well, I figured that will be resolved in the next game, going by the way the discs works of the original. So I was kind of expecting that it probably will be resolved. I don't know how it's going to be resolved, and I guess I'm still worried about that, being the nerd that I am, but we'll see. But so I guess that was kind of a highlight for me per se, because it's pretty cool. And since obviously I'm currently near the end of the first game, so that was a highlight. But the performances, there was another band, wasn't there? I forget the name of them, and they were...
Oh, there was an embarrassing band where they got some actors from the game involved.
Yeah.
They couldn't dance to save their life.
That was really cringe. This poor guy, I think he's the developer, and he's obviously tried to learn the dance routine, but he's obviously blatantly not a dancer.
Yeah.
I was cringing for him. I was like, Jesus, dude, I feel so bad for you.
I mean, Senua's Sacrifice had some music interlude thing going on before the trailer.
Right.
And that was okay. That was quite good. But most of it was just garbage. I mean, the orchestral thing at the end was quite good, but yeah.
So I mean, as far as game announcements are concerned, for me and Pete, it was mainly one game with a couple of we'll see.
Yeah.
That was that's personal preference. There might be something for anyone listening, because we all can be very different with games. So it's probably worth watching, but there is a lack of a wow factor. But that doesn't mean that there might be a game there that might,
Yeah, nothing blew us away apart from maybe Monster Hunter Wilds.
Right at the end, guys. So we had to sit through 3.5 hours. Me and P had to sit there.
Yeah,
and then right at the end, before they announced the last game, the last award, we get something for us. But
it's the way it goes, I guess.
I think going forward, it's like it's 100% about the game trailers. The awards they'll be there next year because that's the gimmick, but nobody cares. I really, honestly, nobody's going to tune in next year. The developers might care a bit, right? But other than that, if you don't work in the industry, I don't think you really care. I don't think so.
Yeah. Oh, well, okay. That kind of wraps it up. If you liked our show, give us a subscribe, hit that thumbs up button, hit the notifications bell. Did you love it? Did you hate it? We would love to hear from you, and we will reply with due diligence and excitement. But until the next show, we will bid you adieu.
Yep. See you later, guys. And we've got some end of year top fives coming up within the next couple of weeks over the Xmas period. So please join us.
Yes, it's going to be fun. All right, everyone.
Take care.